That concerns me, especially with what happened with the Loudoun County dad, which I'm bringing up next. Is he was found not guilty of trespassing, in the in that whole bit. So just to give a little background for people who don't know, the dad that was pictured in that article being dragged out was there because his daughter was assaulted in a bathroom by a transgender student, and nobody told him. Nobody reported it, and then quietly transferred this kid to another school where they sexually assaulted another person before getting, I think they were arrested or something. I don't remember the entire story of it. Anyway, so he goes to the school board meeting to voice his concerns about what they're doing. And then right before the meeting was called off, which the superintendent of the school did this, right before they called it off, they went in there and said, hey, we're going to speak our mind. And then he's like, no, we're not doing the assembly anymore. So everybody needs to fucking leave, and hoping they would leave. They didn't leave. He went up there to speak. They told him to leave. This is an unlawful assembly after they called the meeting in the first place. And then he was kicked out, which that's what the judge cited is like, this is an open forum. It's a public place. You opened the meeting and then abruptly canceled it. It wasn't an unlawful assembly because you called them there in the first place. And that's why he got off the trespassing charge. But the point that he got arrested for trespassing in the first place is insane to me, right? Like, as a parent, as a dad, like, I would be absolutely livid if something happened to my daughter like that and nobody fucking told me. Like,
and that's the problem with, the system now, man. Most of the time these officers, not all of them, some of them will find any reason and throw you in cuffs, man.
Yeah, there's I don't know. I mean, it's this weird kind of hypocrisy on the right that I don't agree with now, is like, there's not much reason for us to really support law enforcement in a lot of cases because they are supporting the state that's oppressing you in the first place. So that's one of the things I don't get is like, why a lot of these cops that are left over, all the good cops are gone. They left when COVID hit. Right? All these ones here are just for the fucking paycheck. That's what they're there for. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about the Constitution. They don't give a shit about enforcing the law. Whatever the law says, I will do it. And I will make up a fucking law to put you in jail. You see these videos constantly on TikTok about these cops doing dirty shit in front of the cameras. They even have the fucking chest cameras on, and they're still doing dirty shit. Like, they're not afraid. They're not afraid of getting caught because they'll know they'll be protected. And that disgusts me.
And here's the thing, man. It's like, whenever you hear like somebody say, I'm going to sue you, and the cop's like, do it. I don't care. Because they have an association that's going to pay all their legal fees. The citizen has to pay all their legal fees. So the citizen has to pay all the lawyer fees, pay all this other stuff. The officer or the department that's getting sued, they have an association that actually pays that. That doesn't come out the individual's pocket.
Yeah.
So that's why they're always like, do it. I don't care, because they know nothing's going to come out their pocket. So you have the citizen paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to sue an entity. And you have a department that's like, we don't care. That's why they're always just like, we don't care. It's qualified immunity, man.
Which we need to end. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I agree. That needs to go away.
And civil asset forfeiture is another one that really fucking bugs me. Because how is it legal for the government to steal from you? Right? Because that's what it is legal theft. They say, oh, look at all this cash you have. It's mine now. And then they split it with the feds and the State Department. And those are the people that get the fucking money. It's like, why? I mean, I get you're trying to go after drug dealers, as we stated earlier in the episode, because the CIA is helping fund drug dealers. But I know you're trying, and I'll use that liberally in air quotes, to catch these people. But no, what you're really doing is just harassing civilians and taking their money from them. Like, there was a vet that was traveling with a large sum of cash in his trunk, right? I think it was an RV vet. I don't remember. But anyway, he was traveling with this large sum of cash. It was like his whole life savings, right? All of his money. And he gets pulled over and they take his fucking money. And it takes him forever to get it fucking back. Even though he was doing nothing wrong, it was a simple infraction. They gave an excuse to bring out the dog, the false alert with the dogs, because they can make their dogs alert, so they want to have an excuse to search your fucking car. That's what they did. And they took, it was like well over $30,000 that this dude had in his car, right? Because he was traveling to his daughter, he was moving and stuff like that, and he didn't trust banks. He was keeping the money on himself, which I get because banks are a fucking scam in the first place, right? Which I can explain later if you really want to know. But so they took his money, and then he had to go through all the legal steps and hire a lawyer, get a process in order to get his own money back that was his to begin with. And most people, what they expect is they just don't want you to fucking try, right? They're going to take that money from you and then hope you just go away. So they just legally stole your money and your things without ever having to do anything for it. It's highway robbery. It's banditry, but they call it justice. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you, dude. It's so dumb. I don't know.
It's not justice. It's theft.
It's not. It's not.